All right, ladies and gentlemen, good morning again or good afternoon, depending on what time you decide to go ahead and listen to yours truly, Big Steph. And as you know, you're on cultural awareness, and this is a place where we talk about culture, custom, what happened, for example, in China, what happens in Africa, what happened in the USA, what happened. What should I say? What happened around the world, right, in terms of culture. And today, sorry that most of the time you guys have to listen to all these stories coming from Africa. We always have stories of the day, as you know, but you can also tell us what is your problem, and I can put it here and see what the people say about it, right? It will be posted on YouTube, it will be posted on Facebook, and it will also be posted on different podcast venues like iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and all those good stuff, right? So let's get right down to it. So this story came from a country in Africa I won't name, but Cameroon. So this story came from there where a man is writing us. This is a funny story. He is writing us because he messed up, right? He literally messed up. I don't want to use the F word because I have kids listening to this, but he literally messed up, right? How did he mess up? Well, he has his own company, his own business, you know. The man is feeling himself a little bit, making a little bit of money, and he has his own company. It's based in a big town in the economical capital of Cameroon, so it's based in Douala. And over there, he has, you know, he have to have an assistant that I would say attract, right? The assistant is very attractive and everything, but the thing is, he also have a almost wife. What do I mean by almost wife? A almost wife is a girlfriend with whom he has 2 kids already, and he's planning on marrying her. So they are, we will say, they are in the fiancé stage, right? But they are not like legally or fully married yet. But you know, they've been living together. They started grinding, and he went ahead and founded his company and married. And what should I say? Founded his company, had 2 kids with her, and he's building a house as we speaking, and as we speak. And now the problem is this. He's writing us this story is funny, man. He's writing on saying this, that he had sex with his assistant by compassion. I was like, what do you mean by compassion? He said, well, she kept telling me how every single man on this earth has deceived her, and you know, she's tired, she's 30 now, and like, what is she going to do with her life? She doesn't have any kid, and she wanted to have a kid. So he said the relation started about 5 months ago, and now she's 4 months pregnant, right? Because he felt bad that she doesn't have a kid. She kept crying or whatever, and he went ahead, you know, dip it in, and now she's pregnant by 4 months. And he said it was that is all it was. It wasn't that he was trying to have a relation with her. He just wanted to help her have a child. Just wanted to help her have a child, and now that she's pregnant, she's doing whatever she wants at his company. You know, she comes late. She's not worried about nothing, about any recommendation or any like punishment or because she feel herself, right? She knows that she's carrying his baby, and his wife is I guess coming. His wife also come at the workplace, and she figure out that something is going on between the two, right? So she's fishing for information because she's like surprised how this assistant is acting, right? She's acting like she literally owned the place, and his wife is becoming suspicious, and he's asking advice on how to go on and tell his wife that he messed up, and how that is gonna go, how that is going to go. How does he tell his wife? Well, number one, my brother, like, this is personal opinion, okay? So, number one, I will say this. I don't know if it happened. Maybe it happened. Maybe it does. Maybe it doesn't. But this is one of the rare moments where I see a man A man, not a woman, a man saying that he had sex with a woman just because of compassion, because he felt bad for her, because he felt like he's that savior that needed to give her kids. Why couldn't he? And this is a good question that the elders asked. Why couldn't she go find another man out there to give her a kid? Why him? And she knew well that he has a pretty much a wife, and he's about to get married. And why does she see him as the savior? Why does she say that every single other man out there deceive her? Like, that is the number one thing. And number two is, there's no such a thing as, oh, I had sex with her because I felt bad, or because like you saw something that attracted you and you went on and you had sex with her, period. So own up to your mistake and just say, hey, I messed up. But don't try to give us excuses. African hate excuses, man, especially African elderly. They hate excuses. So don't give us excuses as to, oh, I felt bad, and she didn't have a kid. She's 30 years old. She could have found another man, or she could have, like, what is the proof that she did the spermatozoid test on him to know that she will get pregnant by him? So, like, this is all kinds of things that I don't know if this dude was thinking, or if he thought he would come here and fool us with this nonsense story of, oh, I had sex with her because I felt bad. No, you didn't feel bad. You're tendon in your pants, say, hey, let's go, and you went ahead and you went. You went, you had fun, now it's time for you to pay the price. Everything you do in life has a price, right? Whether you like it or not, everything has a price. And the price right now is you have a baby that is coming, and, somebody's going to have to pay for it. Pay for, oh, like this, I don't have this, I don't have that. You got to go and pay. Oh, your baby wants to see you, and you will go ahead and pay. So, everything you do in life has a price. Now, if you came and say, guys, I messed up, what should I do? Then that is different. The advice will be different. Sorry about that lack of professionalism, but I'm recording this very, very early in the morning. So anyway, like, when you messed up, you should just come and be like, hey guys, I messed up. Any recommendation, any advice, then you are being guided properly, and honesty will always pay. Trust me, you find out the hard way that the earlier you're honest, the better things go, right? Yes, it will hurt people, but the better things go. So this is the advice that elderly people, not me, elderly people told him. We have to put things into perspective, right? And what do I mean by that? We are not in an American society. We are not in European society. We are in African society. And most importantly, we are in Cameroon. So for a small piece of information, in Cameroon, there's there's actually technically three types of marriage. But in terms of legally, there's two types of marriage. You can decide to sign monogamy, which means you can only have one wife, or you can go ahead and sign polygamy, where you can have two wives. Now, this man look like he's wanting to live a polygamy life, but he's claiming to be a monogamous, so that doesn't quite work well. So the elder recommended him, like, hey, you should go ahead and put these two women in the same room together and tell your wife in front of her. If you don't want her, if you just feel like it was just for the kid, then tell your wife in front of her, I messed up. I had a child with her, and that's it. So how do we handle the situation? I know you might want to leave me, but I would rather you not. And I'm asking for forgiveness, but I'm also letting you know that this is where I messed up, and how do you want to proceed? And then give your wife some time to think about it. Maybe she might still want to stay with her man, or she might want to leave. It will be up to her. But at least you came forward. At least you told the truth. At least you were being honest. Now, that is a man with no excuses, right? But when you come to us and tell us that, oh, I did this because I was feeling bad for her, then we call it full of BS. Now we don't want to listen to you, because we know, every man on this earth know that, first of all, when you hire assistant, you always want her to be really, cute, beautiful. Why? Because it's attract customer, right? Like whenever you go at a restaurant, you think they put those beautiful girl up front by mistake. No, like this is a business place, man. You have to put what attract client. Whether it's, when you put like this is sad to say, but they used to I remember when I was in college, I have friends that told me that my body was made for TV but my face was made for radio. So hey, I used to say the same thing vice versa against other teammates. That tells you what, like at the restaurant you put the most beautiful people in the front, and some other people you put them in the back for them to cook. Man, I'm not trying to disrespect the cook out there, man. It's funny, laugh about it a little bit, man. It's life. Laugh laugh and joke a little bit, but that is what I'm trying to say, right? Like uh in life, whether you like it or not, like you in business life, like you put the most beautiful girl up front so they can attract those potential, big spending customer that will see and spend some time. They want to impress women, which is fine because your business is making money, and sometimes because they want to go ahead and speak to your secretary or whatever. So my advice to him is this, go ahead and be truthful, man. Go ahead and tell your wife what you did, and if you feel like, oh, you love them both or you like them both, then tell your wife you want to sign, because you guys are not married yet. You guys are living together, you guys have two kids together, but legally you guys are not married, and you haven't knocked on her door traditionally, because you haven't done any of that. So while everything is, tell your wife the truth, number one. Number two, let her know if you want to sign a monogamous marriage or a polygamy marriage, right? And by the way, in Africa, like I was saying earlier, in terms of knowledge check, is legal, right? Like you have a choice. You can, like, it's not like here in America where when you get married, it's assumed that you're only getting married to one wife, right? Or in Africa, it's not assumed. When you're going to get married, even on the paperwork, they literally ask both the man and the woman, hey, what type of marriage are you guys having? Is it monogamy or polygamy? If it's polygamy, then okay, the woman knows that her man is going to, at some point of time in the future, have a second, third, fourth, fifth, 10th wife if he wants to. Now, it's allowed if you have the, I would say, resources to go ahead and take care of those women. You can't just be out here getting married and you don't even have something to eat with your first wife, right? When you have money, like I know, like a rich man back home, he already passed away, I believe, last year. His name was it was Foto Vitor. He had many wives, right? But he had so much money, like he was one of the richest men in the whole, like, Africa. So he had the right to have as many, and most of the time he wasn't. Like, now, speaking of compassion, that is a man that was marrying women for compassion, to save their family out of poverty, because that man was already so old and he was still marrying all these young women that he didn't even sleep with, so he will marry them and they will have a little piece of, his, I will say, his heritage, right? So that tells you that is still really compassion right there. But but even like that, you still see that you still have to be at least beautiful for the man to come marry you. So same thing here. Like, this secretary was attractive. Tell us that you fell in love with her. Why? Because you're human, number one. Number two is, imagine you seeing her every day. At one point, you don't go from professionalism to non-professionalism. So I'm sure that there are things that happened before. How were you able to sit down with your secretary and have conversation about her, I guess, exes? Like you said, she told you how all her exes disappointed her. She wants to have a kid. Every man she went out there, like, like, man, you fell for it, man, because trust me, she saw what you have. You have your own business, right? And she's like, hey, I can shoot my shot, and he's not. And some people out here talk a lot too, right? Like I'm one of those guys that like to keep my mouth shut, and most people around me will tell you that, right? Especially like I can talk trash a lot. That is different from talking. I talk trash. Why? Because I'm a football player and that's what we do. We talk trash to get, you gotta get other people out of their position a little bit, so you talk trash. But in terms of sitting and communicating about like serious stuff, and like nobody will tell you that I sit down and talk. Like, no, I was always told, even now, even my moms tell me that, that, hey, why do you always keep things to yourself? Nobody ever knows what is going on with you, right? We just get shocked or surprised one day when you snap. So because that's the type of person who I am, right? So that I am. So my point is, why do I say that? Is because some men talk a lot. They go out there to a girl that they want to date or something and start talking trash about the person that they have at home. Don't do that. Come on, man, be respectful. Don't do that, because you are with that person for a reason. If you want to flirt with a girl outside and have your fun, like your 15 minutes of fun, then you don't need to trash your wife that's at home, that, oh, she's like this, she's like that, we are not even married and things like that, just because you are trying to get your 5 minutes of pleasure. Like, no, like that is not cool. Whether the information you are providing is true or not, the point is you are leveraging that information to sleep with this woman. That is not cool. And speaking of sleeping with a woman and stepping out of the relationship, please, guys, be sure to check out this book that this guy from the Messed Up Mind wrote, right? The publishing company is called the Messed Up Mind, and the book is called Rules to Stepping Out, right? Rule to Step Out, something like that. Yeah. So feel free to go out and check out that book. And again, if you have anything that you want me to pass on the podcast, I'll do it for free. I'm not making money off of it. I do it just by passion, by fun, because I like talking, and this is me talking right now, you see. So go ahead, please, guys, subscribe to my YouTube, to all my podcast channel, whether it's on iTunes, Spotify, Google, Amazon, or wherever you are, man. Please subscribe. And now, that being said, I have a quick joke that I heard the other day, and it made me laugh, right? So this man asks his friend, like, hey, I heard your dog died. And he said, yeah. And then the man replied, what happened? He said, I don't know. He just woke up dead. So anyway, I was like, what? He said he just woke up dead. I was like, oh man, like I don't even know this dude realize what he just said. But anyway, thank you for listening to this podcast. Thank you to everybody that follow us in 2021, and this is 2022. Let's go ahead and be consistent, and God bless you. God bless your year, and that you pray everything you ask for will come true in the name of Jesus, man. And also, always when you praying, I'm not here to tell you how to pray, okay? But every time you ask for something, really believe in it, and it will become true. So that is my advice to you. Peace out to you guys, and see you on the next episode. Big Steph.